How about my dearest YouTube friends? Today we are in a new video. The December 2025 supervision has already arrived. In this case, I have not brought you the stream because I have been watching the Kaban stream with the draws that I will later explain to you in another video how to get them totally free and totally quickly. But in this case, we are going to focus on the monthly super mission where there is a boss that is somewhat complicated that we are already going to be seeing, and I am going to give you the tips about the bosses and which are the best counters to give it. In this case, we are going to be starting with Void, which is the first boss that you are already seeing, that you have to give intimate blows. You have to bring a character who is of the skilled class, who in this case I fail and also has cruelty. In this case, I don't have any skilled character. This is my big mistake, and here I am telling you that you should include a skilled character. In this case, I tell you to bring in Get Monkey, who is the best character because in the end, he is a total hit. But the bug can also work very well for us, and it can work very well for us. Yelena Biloba, who are characters that generate many blows. Okay, so here's the important thing about this fight. Well, that's giving the critical blows because in the end, that's how we're going to be doing damage. And you are also seeing under the Void Life that there is an unlockable timer. If we are far from the defender, that unlockable will be put on us. And if he won't be put on him, for me, it is the only thing like that more complicated that we also have. As I said, you have to add a skilled character because every 5 hits we add from a combo, we will be eliminating the disadvantages. Therefore, here he also rents a character who purifies his disadvantages in the style of Chelis, Baron Seimo, or directly Molman. Okay, I think Molman here is the best to give him. In this case, you are already seeing that it is pure critical hit what I am doing, and that is why the fight is slow because in the end, Jean Grey does throw in good critical hits but not all his critical hits. They're guaranteed. So I already tell you that you have to look for a character who makes good critical hits. Well, as I already told you, for me, the best option is Head Monkey. It's okay because it makes critical hits, it causes bleeding so that the void is not developing, and you are simply seeing that we have to keep away from the devoid when the unlockable is going to end so that we can be unlockable in BBL. So friends, you're already seeing that. Depending on the advantages and disadvantages that it gives us, I will, because it is going to cost us a totally tremendous life. And for that very reason, by not having a direct counter that was character A, because I read it quite late, because it has eliminated a lot of our lives. So be very careful with maintaining this fault. I already tell you that Bullseye for me, well, Press and Hit Monkey is one of the best to give it. In this case, I was thinking about how to give him, and I say, well, Intimate Blows, surely guaranteed that Cyclops from the blue team, because he will also be doing it to us thanks to those improvements in precision that he has. So, well, I have already told you more or less the counter hit Monkey Bullseye, Yelena, Baron Simo, also characters that remove the disadvantages, but in reality, with a skilled character, anyone will be working for you as long as they have one. Inability to hit critical blows, which in the end is what is important here. You are already seeing on the screen, well, he already has a little life left, and thanks to that Cyclops for the damage he is going to have from super attacks, well, we are going to do tremendous damage. In other words, you are seeing that due to the disadvantages of Boy, because they are going to be eliminating a lot of lives, in this case, you are already seeing it. There is little left with the super attack ready. We have it, friends. Well ready. The first boss. Let's go for the next one, the next boss. It's so fine, if I remember correctly, there we are seeing it, that basically I see it with my attack program. Gives you a random defender disadvantage. When the attack upgrades you, you gain 15% maximum health regeneration every 15 seconds. Well, he gets 10% power and we have to intercept him. In this case, any scientific character is going to serve you. But in this case, as I always use, when we face mystics, it is the Mata Mystic Human Torch par excellence. That simply with the blows in gray and medium media, well, we are going to be leaving those disadvantages of Electric Genes and now Manova. And apart from that, it also reverses your regeneration. Therefore, here, Photon can be very good for you. Spider-Woman can also be good for you. In the end, it's the counters. Better me. As always, when it's a mystic, I do it with literally the super and get rid of nonsense. But Photon, more of the same. You are already seeing that it generates a lot of power. And what I can recommend to you in this fight is that there is always a sub-fine. It is forced by the one that has super attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid. Okay, and in this way they are simply 2 taps that we go backwards twice and it would be there, and simply because we can do good damage and it would be there, if there is actually a sub-fine, it is not. It is not a difficult shower at all. We simply have to maintain the pressure if you are playing with Human Torch to put in those new flames and electric stings. So nothing next boss done. I already tell you that with Photon, Spider-Woman, Human Torch comes out perfect. Lizard also comes out very, very well. Let's go to the next boss, which in this case for me is the most complicated boss. We are talking about software. It has chitin spines that cause us direct damage, which is a big problem when it has robust tissues that it also has preparation for. On top of that, you are going to be seeing how to do the gameplay, and every 8 seconds a local is created. I have put it in 2 because you are already seeing the amount of little life that we are doing to it, what the preparation is, and what the crux of the matter is. Here in this fight, you are seeing under the life of software that has like a kind of unstoppable blue. What do we have to do? Well, basically forcing him to hit us hard and end the animation. We give it to it because otherwise we will not be able to use this software in any way. And I always recommend that against Solvard, he throws Super Take 2, which is the easiest to avoid. And it also has another node that you're already seeing. Under the life of Solvard key, there is a stopwatch that is an unlockable that ends since a load is placed on it. And simply by hitting the air, it is removed without being lockable. But the problem is that that unlockable just throws you a super tack, and it is going to give you, as has happened to me on numerous occasions for my software, I believe and consider that it is the most complicated defender that we have in this monthly supervision. So you already have to carry a direct counter. In this case, I have managed to make it Spider-Woman, in which you will see later, but also here, a cosmic character that takes away from us that robustness. That is such a neat style of the Phoenix itself. The same also as what they call Super Skull. It can come very well against this software. The only thing I already tell you is that you have to take into account in the fight, which is to keep it good that he throws the hard blow at us and we immediately hit him to take away that unstoppable one. Once we remove that unstoppable one, well, we will be able to shoot him and do him good damage and be very careful with that one. Well, that unblockable one that he has with those loads here, I think I was thinking about how to do it honestly, and I already had the idea of hitting him with Spider-Woman, who in the end I saw that for me she was just getting there. It was the best option against this Solvar thanks to those electric stings because you are already seeing that with the blows, absolutely everything was regenerating. So you are already seeing that there is the unstoppable thing because we have to force the one who has the strong blow and be very careful with that one. With that unlockable one, we hit as soon as he hits us hard and we already take it away and we can already be shooting and hurting him. Okay, and I'm already telling you that for me, Spider-Woman has become one of the best thanks to that force that she has as an electric sting against this Solvar. You are seeing that it is almost CAO and directly with the electrical origin it has ended. For me, I'm telling you, the worst fight we live with Lumatrix. In this case, we have to carry a character that yes or yes, meta persecution, accurate meta hit, forgiveness, accurate concentration, or directly surveillance. Okay, apart, in this case, the Matrix node gives that the cruelty that we basically have to be to has a strong blow avoiding that animation, and it will pass to us an improvement in cruelty that Numatrix has under its life, and it will pass to us. He also has a node that every time we put him at a disadvantage that is not harmful, he will also have an accumulation of power of no power, right? Sorry, energize. Okay, so in this case, for me, the best thing is to give him a snake as long as you manage to hit him. As in this case, he is beating us completely thanks to that precise concentration that we remember that in improvement, what it does is avoid failure and illusion. Lumatrix is a piece of shit in defense because of that flaw. Once he has accurate concentration, as you are seeing on the screen, we no longer have to be afraid of anything. So what you do see is we throw the hard blow, we are just going to throw it, and the quality improvement has gone to Snake. Therefore, this way we are going to do much more damage. In this case, I tell you that against Lumatrix, always force him to throw Super Attack 1, which is the easiest to avoid, and especially because he is going to enter failure mode and with concentration. We won't have any problems, and it's just stick and stick. This way we avoid stupefaction or avoid giving it non-harmful disgusting disadvantages, as in this case, since there is that of fear, but it is going to be removed, and that energizing that the woman energizes is already removed because it makes her charge more blue matrix power. Okay, then nothing, we simply have to force him to throw the hard blow and we hit him to pass on the cruelty and thus do more damage and make the fight faster, but simply with the snake works great. What other characters work well against this new matrix? Well, Vox with the super attack of Cosmic Rider Surveillance 2 when we activate Surveillance. Or what else? Well, it is Silver Surfer also because it has that surveillance. Super Scroll works very well for us. So in reality, the crux of the matter here against this Now Matrix is to bring a character that removes that flaw, and that in that way, well, it will also work very well, for example, Cyclops. Now that I think about it with an accurate answer, we are also going to be removing that flaw. And what has been the fight with the Matrix is going to be very, very simple. In this case, I have used the snake because he didn't do, because he asked me for it, and that's it. Because the matrix ends up quite simple as long as you take the counter completely indicated, as I just told you that I hear about 4 or 5 of you. But we're going to the next boss, which is Onslaught. Whenever Atakanteski goes on the attack with his patake successfully reduces our combo. The attack is an indefinite demolition disadvantage when blocking the defender's attacks, and the attack takes 90% less damage. As long as he's not there, as long as we haven't hit him hard, be careful, and it may be complicated for us. In this case, I am doing it with Jumel. The Ocelot can actually come out with any type of technological. For example, Solvarch, the same Solvarch that we have seen before, since it is a perfect counter against this Oslo. You are already seeing that simply by going back with the super attacks, as long as you know how to avoid them, you won't have any problems. And on top of that, we have that Fury. Once that Fury is over, he'll put his protection back on Oluwad, and we'll have to be knocking him out of that protection. Well, a Fury to us and really do the damage. In this case, as you can see, you can rely on the relic to be able to throw him away. And as I always tell Oslo, force him to throw away his plant, that one, which is the easiest to avoid, as you are already seeing on the screen, as it has been a perfect illusion and already take advantage of those Furies to do terrible damage in this case. Well, Jondo, I wanted to hit him, and you are already seeing how well he is getting along with our friend Jondo. And now, yes, friends, we arrive at the new character of this December 2025. We are. The last one is Imperative and Idol in this case, because when we intercept with a character who is Mystic, we are going to put him at a disadvantage in which his Fury, his accumulation power, and his equality and perforation are of less damage. Then also when we do a stunning disadvantage because a passive will be added. In this case, I am seeing that you are already doing it with Spider-Man to see what I think is one of the best things to give him, and the only thing his money is to try to block him because they may be giving you. You are already seeing great care with the mines that Imperiosa releases during the fight, as you are seeing that red one through a super attack too because it can root us. Simply and plain, when it takes root, you have a super attack if you have it loaded and you already get out of that rooting. So actually, Imperiosa is a fairly simple character in defense. You just have to be a little careful with that Fury and with that perforation, and also when he gains that copy of power that actually with a mystical character like Spider-Man for Bird, we all remove. Another type of power here, characters can also serve us, since Kusala can serve us, Tigra can serve us, but in reality, most mystics can be a perfect point with Imperiosa. In this case, you are already seeing with Spider-Man Pavir as with strong blows, well, and we generate and take away that power, that drama power, and we can now inflict all the damage that Pavir has, which in this case, with the 20 seal improvements, we are going to super attack 2, and you're going to see the damage that we can be causing to Imperiosa, which I already tell you is not complicated at all. This character is then simply worth it, since we must take into account that super attack that always try to force the dominance that super attack 1 has. Although it is complicated, but this is how it should be carried out. And so friends, the monthly supervision for 2025 would end. I hope you liked it, and above all that, all the tips I gave you against these bosses were useful and that you do not make the mistakes that I have made. So friends, if you like this video, come to you and see you in other videos. Bye-bye. And before finishing the video, thank you very much to all of you who are members of the channel. This in December 2025, thanks to JP, to Eliel Ramirez, and Oscar Salmeron for being members of VIP Sorry. Thank you all very much. To become a member of the channel, you have it in the description of all the videos. Bye-bye.